We are continuing this mini-series about what to do now that you have all of your either yeses or no's through from drama school audition season 2025. Audition season is coming to a close and you've got some decisions to make. In my previous video, we talked about weighing up the pros and cons of getting positive outcomes for your audition season. Today, we're going to start looking at some of the less than favourable choices that you have in front of you. And if you haven't checked out the previous video, then I highly recommend that you do, and please do that now. But in this video, we're going to be looking at getting an offer from a school that you're not so keen on, getting an offer for a foundation or Cert HE level 1-year course instead of the BA, and getting waitlisted. Some not so great choices in front of you, but let's find the silver lining, shall we? Shall we? Okay, so you auditioned for a drama school, you've got accepted to that drama school, and whether you felt like you weren't so keen on it to begin with, or whether you kind of started auditioning and then you discovered that you weren't so keen on it, at the end of the day, you're not so keen on the school and you've got an offer in front of you. What do you do? Well, first and foremost, if you are, before auditioning for a school, already clear that you don't like that school, you shouldn't really be auditioning for that school. It's a waste of time. It's like going on a date with somebody that you just don't fancy. Why? But if you auditioned at the school, thought that you quite liked it, and then got into the audition process and discovered, this isn't really for me, then that's what we're going to look at right now. And we're going to use that analogy of dating once again so that I can clarify this point for you. Okay, so let's set up the scenario. You go on a date with somebody and you think, on paper, they're actually kind of cool and I quite like them and this is quite exciting, la la la. And then you get into this date and they're not asking any questions, they're not interested in you, they've got really bad breath, there's no spark, you can't really hold a conversation with them, and they can't even afford to split the bill with you, and they're giving off so many red flags that you are unsure whether you are a bull in a bull ring getting antagonized with a bunch of crimson material. And if all of this happened on a date, do you think you would go on another date? No, of course you would not. I can't believe I have to say it because it's so painfully obvious. Why would we bother, right? Just chalk it up to a bad experience. One for the plot, one to entertain your friends. That's not something to seriously consider. It is a clear no. So if it is a clear no for you, then it is a clear no for you. And that is regardless of how attractive or successful or potentially charismatic they are, or how other people would feel so lucky to be purely in the presence of that person that you were on that date with. Regardless of all of that, if you're not feeling it, then you're not feeling it, because you are not going to accept a proposal and an engagement ring from somebody that doesn't light you up. Yes? Even if you have no other eligible singletons bashing down your door to propose to you. Even if there is scarcity out there and there just so happens to be this one person that's like, hi, I quite like you, please marry me forever. If you don't like them, don't say yes. It's really clear. Sounds like I'm doing a completely different kind of YouTube channel, but there we are. You understand the analogy. You see what I'm driving at. If you don't like the school, if you didn't feel comfortable at the school, if you didn't like the style of the school, you didn't like the facilities, you didn't like the way that they... Shut up. You didn't like the way that they navigated things, then say no. That's 3 years of your life, after all. That is your entire higher education. It doesn't matter if the school's reputation is incredibly high, if it is one of those schools that is considered to be, oh my god, it's so competitive, top of their game, this, that, and the next thing. If you don't like it, you don't like it. There were a number of schools that I auditioned at when I was auditioning back in the day. I went, I know that this school is supposed to be like one of the top schools, but I just don't like it here. That's okay. It's an individual choice at the end of the day. And we do not accept subpar offers at schools when we do not have any other offers on the table. We just don't do that. It's a massive scarcity mindset, and we don't want to fall into the trap of that, because you always have options. You have the option of leaving it and coming back and re-auditioning next year, knowing that you're not going to audition at that school and waste your time at that school. You can concentrate on schools that you're actually lit up by. You also have the choice of just going out into the industry and missing out training altogether. There are always options to play with. Just because you have an offer doesn't mean that you have to accept it. And the school knows that as well. And the likelihood is, if you don't accept, they probably have a wait list. And we're going to get into wait list a little bit later on. Now, it gets a little bit blurrier when you're kind of like, oh, it's a good school, it's fine, it's okay, I kind of liked it, it's all right. So that would kind of mean, oh yeah, sure, well I could accept that because I wouldn't mind going to that school. And I mean, again, personal choice, right? But again, if you put that against dating, you're not going to dedicate your life to somebody, or at least the next 3 years of your life, to somebody that you just feel okay about. Unless it is a full on with your chest yes, then it's a no. Because the likelihood is, if you got accepted to that school 1 year, then if you reapply, you might get accepted next year. My options. Now, what happens if you get accepted to a school that you really, really love, but onto a 1-year foundation level or Cert HE program instead of the BA? Now, this can sting a bit because you auditioned for the BA is what you want, and you are getting accepted onto something that you don't necessarily want. And like we said before, if it's not a full yes with your full chest and it's a wholehearted yes, absolutely, then that's what you said, Louise. If it's not a full-blown yes, it's a no. Now, there is some nuance here, okay? Because first and foremost, this is a school that you really, really like, so it gets you exposed to that training system and actually in amongst the students and the staff and the facilities of which you want to be, but it's on a course that you don't necessarily want to be on. But a Cert HE course or a foundation level acting course is basically a panel saying to you, we like you. We think that you have potential. We do genuinely see you getting onto a BA, but just not yet. You need a little bit more time. We feel like you would struggle in first year. And you don't want to be struggling in first year. You want to be able to hit the ground running and know kind of roughly speaking what you're doing and be on par with everybody else who's in your year group. And a foundation level course prepares you for this. Knowing that as a UK resident, if you haven't studied before at higher education level, you are entitled to 4 years worth of student finance. Most BAs are 3 years. Most Cert HEs are 1 year. 1 year per 3 years. Oh my god, everything's funded. Have fun. But also, it means that on most foundation courses, you are going to be given some kind of guidance and preparation to gear you up for the next audition season that is coming. You are going to be well practiced, well versed, well exercised in the way of actually bringing character to life, using text, all of that good stuff that is going to gear you up for audition season going forward, as opposed to not accepting a Cert HE offer, doing nothing for that year, going rusty, and then finding it a struggle when you get to audition season, if you choose to reapply. Also, when you do get accepted onto a BA after doing a foundation course, you will find that when you are in a cohort of people in that first year, you already have the stamina. You already have an understanding of what it is to train at drama school level. You have the terminology, you have a little bit of acting practice under your belt, so you're actually one of the front runners in that year group. It's actually a pretty good place to be at. But this comes with a caveat. You should only be accepting a Cert HE or a foundation level offer if the actual course does pay attention to audition preparation. Even if it is just 1 term where they help you with monologues, where they give you mock auditions, where they help you with personal statements and they kind of guide you through and coach you through the aspects of actually auditioning for drama school, because at the end of the day, that's where you see yourself trajectory wise. So if they're just kind of off doing lots of different stuff in their curriculum that doesn't pay attention to that, then that might be cause for you to rethink whether you accept this course or not. You also want to take into account class sizes and year sizes. The 1-year courses tend to have more people in them. That's just a kind of standard. There tends to be less people on a BA, more people on a foundation or a Cert HE course. But you don't want it to be going crazy, because I've seen several actors in the past be super, super energized and excited about going onto a 1-year course to then be confronted with about 60 people in their year group and getting really disheartened. 1, because they don't feel special, they don't feel chosen, and 2, how the heck are you supposed to have any individual time that is paid attention purely to you so that you're actually learning and growing through this process? There's far too many people. So anything between 30, 35, even approaching 40, depending on the class sizes, then that's worth entertaining. Again, you can ask the schools this. What are your class sizes like? How do you split them up? Because anything above 40, in my mind, is silly sauce. It's nonsense. And again, fees and funding. Sadly, not all foundation courses are funded. If it is a Cert HE or a certificate of higher education, the likelihood is it's got student finance behind it. So you can fund that year. Now, if it is a foundation course and it only has 2 terms to it, the likelihood is that's private funding. And that can be about £9,000 £4,000. And that's just for a UK resident. If we're talking international students, that price gets bumped up considerably. So with these courses, you need to make sure that you can afford them. And if it is privately funded, is that going to be worth it? Okay, and what happens if you are waitlisted? Well, a waitlist is just that. It is a list of people who have to wait. So wait. But in all seriousness, if you are waitlisted, then that basically means that if that school had a place, they would offer it to you. They don't at the moment because they've given out all of their offers currently, and they are waiting to hear back from the people who they've offered places to. Now, if, say, they offer 30 places out to 30 different people and 30 people accept them, then no one is going to be plucked off the waitlist. Now, if out of those 30 offers that they make, only 20 people accept, then that means that they're going to be pulling 10 new offers from the waitlist. So that's all to do with their conversion rates of how many offers they get to put out into the world and how many acceptances are they going to get back. Now, they're not going to offer, probably, if they've got 30 places on offer, they won't offer all 30 right off the bat. They'll do it incrementally, which is why they have a waitlist. So it is key to not make any key decisions until you are taken off of a waitlist, whether you were just eliminated from the waitlist altogether or whether you are actually then offered a place. Because you don't want to be accepting a place at a school that you don't like as much as the school that you've been waitlisted for because you haven't heard from them yet. Wait until you have all the information to make a decision. And if it feels like they're taking forever to make a decision, there's nothing to stop you getting in touch and asking, because maybe you've got other options on the table and you kind of just need to know. So hopefully this was helpful and it gave you a little bit more clarity about what to do with less than favorable choices that you have in front of you. But remembering, of course, that you still always have choices. And make sure to watch the first video about choices that are given to you that you are very, very happy about. You need to have a fully rounded understanding of what is there in front of you to make an accurate, informed, and clear-headed decision about what you're going to do for the next 3 years. So make sure that you tune into all 3 of these videos. And if you find that you're still umming and ahhing about what options are in front of you and where you should take things and you're second guessing yourself and you need a little bit of guidance, then please, please, please get in touch with me and we can do a coaching consult where we can weigh up all of these options and I can tell you a little bit more about these schools from my own experience and we can guide you in a direction that is going to serve you best. But until next time, bye.